on. They got
Abfahrt.
the Sivir. They were able to get some turrets to themselves as well, and MKOI just weren't quite able to expand the lead that they had, which was around 2K at its peak. But now into pick and ban for game number 2.
Let's go.
We already have some of those enchanters off the table with the Karma and the NAVI out of there. And now let's see what the next prio is.
All right, well, let's have a look. I mean, so, yeah, I was about to say Ryze is still on the table. They're going to look to take that one off the board. Orianna is also something worth considering. I'm very interested as to how strong teams in Europe still consider Orianna. I feel like that she's still very, very strong. But we'll see what Navi feel like coming into this matchup.
I like the Orianna with certain pairings. I always want a ball delivery system when you lock in the Orianna. When it's Orianna,
Okay, let's go.
I don't even like Xinjiao, things like that.
Karma ist raus als First Pick. Rumble ist raus als First Pick. Orianna ist offen. Wow, wow, wow. Wir geben Orianna.
Flashier picks.
Forgive me, but I was convinced you said bold delivery system.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, is this some new Orianna tech?
Nocturne auf 2-3.
Technically, we actually had this conversation in the LCS. Technically, Orianna is bald. She doesn't have hair. It's metal. Does that count?
You know what? I'm going to avoid that conversation. As
I
Orianna
think it gets by on the technicality.
has in fact
Und nehmen wir sie ja. Ja, dann Orianna Nocturne, mal schauen.
in priority. Poby will probably... he got it. I was going to say respond with a Zia, but he got the lock in before I could say so. This is kind of a staple, I would say, for most Korean mid laners. But yeah, throughout Poby's academy experience over in Tier 1, he played a lot of Azir. So
and we had the nerfs pre-first stand.
Ja, ist natürlich wieder Flex, ne? Also die picken das natürlich wieder wegen Flex.
Significant personally, but sure. Pros will say buff.
Gehen sie Nocturne?
Okay, playable. Now this Ambessa Relect, a special.
Sales gehen bis morgen 10
I
Uhr.
will say
Nicht
the
11 Uhr.
last time they met, it felt like Navi had a very good understanding of how to deny these picks away from Relech. Like, they were picking away things like his Zehen, they were banning away the Kiana, and they were forcing him onto quote-unquote more traditional junglers where he felt less impactful.
Okay, Bart.
So it seems like coming into today, they're quite happy to give him these
Bart auf 3 ist gut.
They can stifle him this time around, because they didn't really shut him down in game 1. But the Orianna Nocturne, a scary combo with which many teams around the world have experienced firsthand.
Are you a believer in the knock wave?
Danke.
The knock wave. The Nocturne shockwave. I believe it was Azale that coined it. The knock wave. Yep.
Right.
Not to be confused with
that at all.
Not to be confused with the Shock Kong, which is the Shockwave Wukong, another ball delivery system.
I prefer just the surprise, you know, because the lights turn off and surprise.
Surprise! Yeah, you're
Anscheinend kommt auch ein neuer Speak Romans Anime raus im Juli. Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. Soll wohl sehr, sehr gut sein. Ist Relic nah besser Aatrox zu Trick? Nee. Alles, was auf Toplane spielbar ist in einem Jungle-Spiel, also alles, was auf Toplane im Jungle-Spiel ist, spielt er. Ich kann mir gut vorstellen, dass er noch sowas wie nach Piri spielen würde, beispielsweise.
Fish for that every opportunity. We'll see as we move into the second phase.
Kann ja gut sein, wenn er nicht raus ist, weil der Manga wohl sehr gut ist.
Renekton going to be taken out of the pool. Now
Ja, weiterhin gibt es eine Flex-Option.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that ban is a little bit of an indication, or maybe even a bit of a bait. I wonder if the mind games are at work here, as quite doing the traditional AD carry bans.
Ja, bester Jungle, ja, eigentlich schon. Aber muss nicht. Du preppst ja jetzt, ne? Das ist ein richtig geiler Seier-Engel. Wow. Oh, weia. Das ist ein geiler Seier-Engel. Oh, weia. Das ist ein geiler Seier-Engel.
We can expect jungle based on Relech's past games and his style that he's been kind of Navi has been adapting to. But no, we actually pivot to the Jhin. So not Xayah that you were excited about. You're not as convinced?
Xayah made sense. I mean, so the only reason why I don't like Jhin is just because Xayah has...
Problem ist, dass sie jetzt Lulu gehen können, oder? Die müssen mal Nico gehen, die sollten Lulu gehen, oder nicht?
Yep. He does have range, so paired alongside Azir, it gives you a little bit more poke. In the lane, I think it's also just stronger than Xayah is, just because Jhin is can be quite the lane bully, even when paired alongside a Bard. But I think that generally you want something when paired alongside a Bard that can be a little bit more self-sufficient, and sometimes I worry about Jhin.
Ja.
Also, if KOI just slam like a...
Mit Xayah, okay, maybe, aber Jhin ist low Dopamin.
Yeah, I mean, that is available. Or
Low dopamine.
If we want to go for that one instead. Either way, it's going to be the Nico with the Inara. Typically with the Inara, I like things that are enchanters.
Okay.
Here's more shielding. So Shen on top of the Nocturne, with the ball on top of the Nocturne.
Yeah.
We're just piling things on Nocturne. Throw him at the Jhin.
This is also a bit of a test for Mainta because he was kind of branded as a bit of a tank merchant last split.
Okay.
So, I mean, if you just pick a tank into Shen, I think Shen's pretty happy. So do you have a counterpick for us?
Nah, kannst du immer noch gehen. Du könntest nah
So
gehen.
even if they do flex the Ambessa, all right, he's not escaping.
Oh, die gehen's an.
He's
Ja.
I feel like he's just adding more evidence.
Ich sehe den Draft von Navi noch nicht so ganz. Tatsächlich.
Game 1 and then Sion in game 2. So I feel like Koi read the play pretty well. They said, you know, we can blind.
Ich sehe den Draft von Navi noch nicht so wirklich. Tatsächlich.
And that is exactly what Mainta does. Don't get me wrong, he's a good tank player.
Sure.
It is kind of his bread and butter.
Nothing wrong with knowing your lane, you know?
Absolutely.
You got a specialty.
But I like this comp a lot more than game 1 from Koi.
Okay.
I feel like it all works towards the same goal, which is forward.
MK hat kein Damage.
We want
You
Nico
know?
to flash in, we want Oriana's ball on.
Haben auch Shen gesehen mit dem Dusk und Dawn mit macht gut Damage.
Yeah.
It can be on Shen, flash taunt into Shockwave. It can be Nocturne, ulti in, Shockwave. It can be Nico.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot
Rocket
of
Belt then,
possibilities.
yeah.
I mean, like, you're right, Rocket Belt. How could I forget the most obvious one? You could Rocket Belt flash yourself.
We might see a Rocket Belt on Oriana.
It wouldn't surprise me.
What JoJo's
Would not surprise me. Yeah, so I do like what MKOI has brought to the table. Navi, again, very front to back. I think Jhin is going to be sad. Like, you only get 4 bullets, and if all of them get blocked by a Shen, it's sad but funny.
Yeah. That's one of those instances where, unfortunately, we're not laughing with you, as you're probably not laughing yourself as the Jhin player. But here we go, loading onto the Rift for game
Abfahrt.
number 2 of MKOI versus Navi. Navi find themselves up 1-0 in the series after a very dominant second half of that last game. Scaling.
Hast Steelball Run gesehen? Nee, ich bin bei Jojo nur erste Staffel geschaut. Ich habe bei Jojo nur erste Staffel geschaut.
But arguably similar goals when it comes to mid and top. Sion and Azir both
So.
having good scaling options, and they still have somewhat of a front-to-back identity when you look at the top half.
He's still very much on LEC this time around. He went for a pretty standard pathing in game 1, and then the moment that Koi tried to do that invade, he then changed up his pathing and he punished Elyoya pretty handily, putting him in a very good position early on. Someone in the chat saying 2-0 Navi. The Lions are mad and hungry. I'm very much, that's my mentality right now. Koi,
You're mad and hungry?
Jolly Man is back again. Great draft by Koi. This man is everywhere.
He's jolly.
Yeah.
Having a great time.
Is that scary?
Is it?
Keine Potion-Verbesserung nochmal? Ja. Will nicht fighten.
You know what, when you put it that way,
Will nicht fighten, das passt.
you know, I think it's all about the timbre of the voice, you know? The jolly man.
Yeah.
That's a little scary, but like the jolly man. Well, you know what?
See?
You're onto something. That might have been worse.
The second one gave you it vibes for a second then, didn't it? Yeah.
I was trying to be a little more jovial about it, but
No, it's still
I'm gonna
scary.
hold judgment on the jolly man for right now. As
Oh, Dr. Nein, der hat Bock zu fighten. Dr. hat Bock zu fighten, aber besser will es nicht.
bot lane shoving in here for Navi.
Ja.
Mid lane, still JoJo shoving in onto Poby. He won the laning phase pretty soundly last time around. It was more in the late game where it wasn't working out for him as Poby actually flies forward. Takes some more damage from the windup of JoJo Pyun. And jungle pathing, both heading towards.
Ja, das erste Game war ziemlich geil. Honestly. Cool für Navi gespielt.
No surprise either.
I really love watching JoJo's laning phase.
Yeah.
So generally, Caps, I want to say he's, I don't remember from first stand, but Caps is like a very high win rate on Oriana. Domestically, he's undefeated on it this year. And so Caps basically giving him Oriana is a scary thing to do. But often when you saw JoJo versus Caps in that Oriana matchup specifically, they would fist fight. Like it was nothing but aggression between the two mid.
22 zu, sagen wir mal, 13 CS. Das ist
JoJo like just emulates that same
sehr, sehr gut.
even on Oriana, similar to what he did on the Syndra, just in your face, non-stop trading. It is a style that can be punished, but in this meta where it feels like full
Smite up bei Riley.
it's something that during the first 4 levels, very rarely do you actually get punished for. So
Yeah, might see it slow down now as Elyoya will push Paris out through the magical journey. Supa also getting some big damage on the SMD, but LEC did have the time
Smite is up.
get that bottom scuttle crab and can just walk up towards the top one.
yeah, I don't think he's in a position to really contest it though, just because it looks like the Shen early on is getting prio on the top side of the map, and he's not going to be too greedy about it, so LEC is going to concede that top crab. He is fishing though in the enemy jungle, but there's nothing for him to steal away.
Nice sidestep from Alvaro there, but will use the heal to do so, as now Ilya will get that top scuttle crab. Relech looks at those Raptors again. Man, he's got those Raptors on lock right now, as both junglers even in the clear overall, and Navi will now finally get the wave to crash under turret and go for a reset. The big thing about that mid lane trades, the aggressive trades, is a slightly better first back for Jojo Pyun as he picks up the Amp Tome compared to just the dagger for Poby. And still about 2 waves up over that mid lane opponent.
The refillable, I think, is also extremely valuable for him as well, just getting that extra bit of sustain. Poby doing slightly better in the trades back. Alvaro now making his way across, though. I think Jojo
Mid-lane-Test ist so rough.
just wants help.
Mid-Lane-Test ist so rough.
He's mana starved.
Warum nicht Electrocute am besser? Im Conquer, also du gehst ja diesen normalen, also er wird diesen normalen Shojin-Bild gehen. Und das ist eher für längere Fights, nicht für shorte Trades. Und da profitierst du mehr von Conquer.
Paris also roaming towards the mid lane, smacking Alvaro with the Electrocute Bard. You'd mentioned that Bard, you know, it depends on the keystone you take, but when you go for the Electrocute, you can control the bot wave very well with the Jhin and always threaten. One Cosmic Binding could mean a lot of damage, if not just death to the opponent. You got to respect that, as Alvaro, we don't see his current health bar, but I believe it was around 3/4 full. But now, yeah, again, Paris, you mentioned the highlight of the Bard too. You can roam around the map, and we have seen Paris kind of bouncing between mid, bouncing between bot, just waiting to see where he's needed.
Yeah, it's an underestimated strength of roaming supports. Your ability to just move into Fog of War and threaten the potential roam puts that.
Poby
Schön.
flashes as Jojo.
Das ist halt super bitter. Weil jetzt hast du bei deiner ersten bei deiner ersten Azul-Ulti hast du keinen Flash mehr, um quasi gegen den Gegentrade rauszukommen.
Because the thing is, every time Poby tries to trade back, he's just losing farm. We watched him just lose a cannon minion. He's now.
Ich glaube, man geht, also auf besser geht man, glaube ich, nie Electrocute im Jungle. Ich glaube, es ist Conquer oder First Strike.
Advantage being built just Jojo's fantastic laning, and it's something that he's continued to demonstrate ever since he arrived in Europe. And I mean, yeah, the conversation for him is very much around how close is he to Caps. To be honest, the conversation is pretty consistently. It feels like he's a better laner than Caps is, but Caps usually plays the map better.
Yeah.
But that conversation has gone back and forth pretty consistently, because even last split, it felt like Caps was on a tear pretty much in every role.
It depends on if we're talking regular season Caps or playoffs.
Also very true, yeah.
I feel like there's a difference there, as top lane has the Scuttle Crab spawn. 6 minutes on the clock, so it's time for supports to roam up here, as Paris taking some big damage right now. Trades it back into Jojo. Poby now is
Level 6.
Could look for the shuffle play. Not a lot of items picked up, as Relech now on to the Scuttle Crab. Will secure it. Hits level 6 early and is now looking potentially at Merwin. Has the flash available, as well as the taunt to dodge, so it'd be a tough public execution to land. Relech will not go for it. But still, the team backing him up. He gets the top Scuttle.
Yeah, I mean, a value add for Relech, absolutely. And I do sometimes get inspired vibes, where it's kind of like, hey team, this thing is happening. I need everyone primed and ready to go. And everyone was primed and ready to go. Same thing can be said for KOI. So just really kind of the talent of a good jungler, where they call out for their team support ready to contest these crabs especially. Dragon's still on the rift though, 7 minutes in. In the previous game, we saw that first one taken almost immediately, just because Relech had great awareness of where Alioya was on the map. But now that Alioya has reached level 6, he's going to...
So, wann kriegen wir unsere erste Shen-Ulti?
Ultimate start to be invested somewhere. Good early Nocturne, I think, is always well, just an effective use of his ult.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen that first use, and again, it's such a long cooldown that if you don't get a big, impactful one, it's going to be a while until you're able to pull that off. Again, a dragon could be the place to do it, as right now Navi are getting some vision down.
So Shockwave was just used on the mid wave. This should be really important information. It basically allows Jojo to get the fast push, go back to base, but it's now not available for an upcoming dragon fight. And with the dragon alive and the bot wave just constantly fighting back and forth, it could be something to question. You can see the question mark pings coming down. Alvaro's going to fish for information right now as he sends the clone over. But bases need to come through from Sam B. He wants to spend some of his gold, so it looks like Dragon not going to be an immediate point of contention.
Yeah, neither team pulling the trigger right away. Sam D will finish that back and comes back with not yet a full item, but getting close towards one, as Supa will go for a as well. Still just some vision control from Navi on that bottom side. They got a ward over the Dragon Pit wall, as well as one to spot if JoJo fades down towards the objective. And JoJo Shockwave is already over half back. So if we just keep delaying this, MKOI will still have the Nocturne plus Orianna combo. And again, if you're Sam D, you need to be aware that you're probably the target, as you are the squishy immobile AD carry. JoJo,
Also Poby hat noch kein Flash, ne? Da kann jederzeit die Shockwave kommen. Wäre gut sogar, oder nicht? Poby so rauschanken, du kannst Grubby spielen. Aber I guess er hält sich für die Orianna Nocturne Combo. Fair enough.
Full HP. Pops the pot just to be sure, but the crowd.
Toxic, Dankeschön für den 15. Und Elbas Ring für den 13, habe ich schon gesagt, das weiß ich gar nicht. Wow, das Spell Shield. Oh yeah. Disaster. Oh, Shockwave war auf Cooldown. Oh.
Shockwave pulls him back. He can't get out with the blast cone. Now over the wall towards a red buff. Has the magical journey to get to safety. But first blood regardless to MKOI.
Okay, so MKOI.
Nee, kein Guest-Back für 2 Wochen.
The Crab's still secured though by Relay.
Also die und nächste Woche.
For the jungler, but it was at the cost of your mid lane. A little bit unfortunate that kill did go over to Alvaro. They would have loved to have given that over to either JoJo or Elyoya. But the Grubs are going to be their reward as well. So MKOI demonstrating some of the strength. At first I was like, oh, the Shockwave didn't do any damage because a heal will come through. So you'll see the heal being invested from Paris as the engage comes through. They try to keep him as healthy as they can, gets that extra HP, but they actually hold on to the Shockwave in anticipation of an extended fight. JoJo's going to use it here on the second half, and it does get the flash out from Mainta. Oh, I stand corrected.
Yeah, he ults away and then just takes the journey out. But still, it's resources that had to be used. As he's lucky that Paris was in his back pocket to help him out there. But still, first blood over to Alvaro. Even if you'd rather it on one of the solo lanes or the carries, still gold in the pocket of MKOI, who now have a 1,000 gold lead. Regardless, NAVI will be the ones to start up Dragon.
A bit of a late Dragon compared to what we're used to seeing, especially over at first stand. But the fact that NAVI are grabbing this first looks very clean to me. And again, like the way that I saw Navi playing the game before was that so much of their focus was dragons. Whereas now it feels a little bit more like, Relech, where do you think we're
Nico mit ihrer Ult aktiv durch Bart's Port, wahrscheinlich nicht, keine Ahnung, weiß ich aber nicht.
Where they are cooperating very cleanly, and it feels like Samdi's responsibility is, okay, you just live and farm. You will be relevant later, but you're kind of just a piece in the greater machine that is Navi. But we need you to ramp up. You'll be key later, but in the early game, a lot of the centerpiece is very much around Relech, Paris, and where they can interact on the map. And it feels like Elyoya and Alvaro are doing a good job of trying to match them on the map. And so far in this game, they've been able to build the lead doing just that.
And now Paris, I mean, roaming around his Bard level 5, very different than roaming around his Bard level 6. He has the Tempered Fate now, so if he's able to find that big engage ultimate onto JoJo Pyun, who has Flash, but still low mobility otherwise, will probably have to use Flash.
Heute LTS? Nein, nächste Woche.
Paris has a target at this point, as he's spotted out by Alvaro here, still kind of just bouncing between mid and bot, is now Relech. And see a pop blossom from Alvaro, but not a lot.
Oh, wow, das war gut. Die Orianna Nocturne Combo, die war schön. Die war sehr schön.
Once they see the bot ultimate committed, it becomes a very easy choice. I was worried for Relech because I felt like Paris was a little too quick to throw that ultimate out there, and he was, but not for the reason that I was suspecting. He should have been focused more on which target are they actually locking down. He predicted that it was going to be Relech, and it ended up being their mid laner as well. So Relech just fishing for a bit of damage. The ulti from Alvaro comes through. Then you see the Nocturne ultimate, and Paris gets spooked. He thinks, oh, they're going on to my jungler. Poby's also roaming down to try and help, but ends up falling himself. Now JoJo could have danger himself.
Public execution over the wall. Flashback from JoJo.
Schöner Play von Relech.
From Relech will secure the kill. Shut down to the jungler of Navi. Meanwhile, top side, Elyoya is going for a gank onto Mainter here. He's a tanky Scion.
Wow.
And he's just TPing back to turret.
Wow.
And it worked. All right.
I mean, the taunt was used, the fear was used, they had nothing left.
Yeah.
They had no way to interrupt him, so he's able to get away to safety. Good job there by Mainta, but Relech basically saying, okay, fine, I'll do it. He gets the flash out from JoJo, he gets the kill onto JoJo as well. And he gets a nice injection of gold. So Navi not down and out just yet, but you can see how here in game 2, MKOI are fighting back with a vengeance. It feels like
Seiner will aus dem Portal ziehen, ja.
really being bullied so
Kann er.
effectively by Jojo. 2 items, I say 2 items, the boots have been upgraded and completed.
Ja, Orianna Nocturne ist sehr OP hier.
Upgraded boots, a devastating upgrade, especially given that Poby, he hasn't even finished his role quest yet.
But I want to say it's a similar story to last game. Poby's a little behind from the laning phase, but it's LEC that is the hope for NAVI, and we see 8, 2, and 3 on the Aatrox in game number 1. Incredible.
Der ist auch, ja.
Flash.
The one fell flash.
Yeah.
But one carried game.
But one carried, yeah, it evens out.
There's a cost, as with any card game would know. There is a cost to have an effect. So
balance in all things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the payment cost.
Yeah.
To cast the carry performance.
Yeah. So we're yet to see that flail flash from LEC just yet, but soon I'm sure he'll pay that
it's
cost.
Coming.
Yeah. We'll see if he can find another carry game against KOI. Is Herald up in a minute, Dragon in a minute 35. Jungler's focused on farming as those first items are being completed across the board. And KOI definitely in a scary spot. Super.
Da ist Jungle viable right now, weiß ich nicht. Ich sehe ihn nicht in Solo-Queue zumindest.
In mid lane. Sambi and Super, speaking of.
Okay, he's able to dodge the Deadly Flourish, and that was really the only threat onto Supa in that moment, so. Backs off just fine. Samdi, meanwhile, has a couple of those Wayfarer Shrines to pick up to heal him back up, and he's back to full health, essentially, so. Not much from that trade.
Gameset ist immer noch super gut für MKOI.
In its time, so it's about the due diligence of getting your vision down, making sure that you're controlling those waves, and also backing for your purchases.
Noch immer kein Flash auf Poby, kein Flash auf Riley, also auch den kannst du angehen. Mit der Orion-Nocturne-Kombo.
Here as Paris actually gets chased out, drops a ward down, and Poby will get this bottom wave.
Right now it just feels like it's fishing for information, making sure that laners are safe. Jojo wants to push out that bot wave, so jungle and support are just here to cover so that LEC doesn't do anything sneaky, and in the same vein, LEC and Paris are cautious of the fact that there might be a dive on the bot side, but LEC, he had camps to clear, so he wants to get out of here ASAP, and he's going to already move up towards the top side, but look at the positioning of Mirwin. He's kind of snuck behind, LEC will be spotted.
Yeah, he's going to be in a 1v2, Smite goes down, and it's stolen by Elyoya. So MKOI's jungler wasting some of LEC's time.
Absolutely. I mean, you can see at the bottom of your screen.
Wollen wir Hardfocus auf Drake spielen? Ich glaube, du könntest jetzt wahrscheinlich noch den Herald nehmen. Wäre wahrscheinlich noch okay.
In game 1. Sure. That was when the mistakes started to come through. It was literally at this point in the game. So we need to see a slightly cleaner performance.
Flat circle, Vegas.
I mean, I can tell you right now, Melzet, after a couple of those ints that we saw in game 1, he's going to bring out some strong words, I would say, and say, all right, boys, we need to lock in. And so far, they are looking fairly locked in. Dragon is on the board, Herald the same. Shen ulti ready to go. We're yet to see that have huge impact in the fight, but I'm expecting it to only add more value as the game continues.
Anytime Paris looks for that Tempered Fate onto the low mobility targets, immediately outside of it, you expect the Stand United to be following as well. Shen's going to be given a shield, given a taunt on the other side of that teleport. So MKOI currently now controlling the river. They walk in and clear out Navi's vision that was placed down. It's about the dance for the wave control as Navi trying to get that mid shoved in. MKOI meanwhile answering the Supa, and they'll teleport Jojo to join in.
It looks like with this river control, yeah, there is no fight over the dragon. I'm quite proud of Navi right now. I feel like last split they would have just kind of fought to the death for this dragon.
Ja, gibt Sinn zu geben. Ergibt sehr viel Sinn zu geben. Das Problem ist jetzt, wenn du jetzt den Herald auch gibst, Riesenproblem. Und die Sache ist, MKOI kann hier easily contesten, wenn die wollen würden. Oder? Nee, okay. Matcha schon probiert. Ja, aber ich kann dir keinen Vergleich geben, weil ich normalerweise kein Matcha trinke.
A back channeling and decided, no, I have an opportunity to push for instead. So he sticks around, and he will be answered by Mainter, who ults down into that lane. So
Shen wieder Meta. Ist so ein bisschen Ding von G2, oder nicht? So ein bisschen Ding von G2 reingebracht. Aber ja, der spielt diesen Titanic Hydra Dusk und Dawn Bild von Bibi.
Nobody's riding the Herald in, but it will get a charge that is 3 plates picked up by Navi.
Okay, decent chunk of damage onto the tower. Guess Navi will just be happy with the gold for now. Sometimes you can save that to be able to gain mid-prio in order to contest Dragon, but with it 4 minutes away, they're just like, nah, we'll just use it, not a big deal.
You don't, I love it when they use it for combat. It would have been too long, 4 minutes. But anytime you see the Herald charging into the river, into the Dragon Pit, that's a good start to a team fight right there.
Yeah, I mean, anything other than what I saw Isma do at the start of the day, which was he could have taken mid tower and instead he used it to try and help his dead top laner in blue buff.
LEC.
Like, all right, well,
you know what? It's commitment, Vedius.
That it was.
It's backing up your team. As MKOI will crack their first turret. One on the board for them.
Ich würde sagen, Game 1, weiß ich nicht. Das Matchup kann im Early Game nicht so schlecht sein. Aber weil Aurora OP in Lane ist, also Game 1, er wurde gegankt, ist dann gestorben an einem dummen Gank. Und danach wurde er ein bisschen gefistet. Game 2 wurde er komplett gedifft in Lane. To be honest, also ersten 2 Lanes waren nicht feierlich.
Every time for NAVI, he's the only one with a little tick in his favor.
Such an exciting rookie. He's had such a splash on the LEC. We'll see if he can have a splash on this game. Jojo, after game 1, he had again strong laning phase. He felt like the dominant force, but then Ornn pressed R when he didn't have flash, and he was sad. Now on Orianna,
he's got flash now.
Yeah, he definitely does, and he is very scary because he doesn't have to.
Wann hat Orianna ihr zweites Item fertig? Die muss auch so viel Gold sitzen, oder nicht?
That they can set up the ball delivery shockwave, and he's happy to send that first class. So. We talked about damage plus in game 1. He's got it in spades, absolutely.
We still haven't seen the Shen combo on top of it. We have seen the knock wave combo, but we have not seen the Shen knock wave. That just goes back to shockwave. As Rylech actually
Engage Angle oder nicht?
red buff right there, and now the lights go out.
Oh, der 4 kommt noch drauf. Samdi. Oh, er kommt nicht durchs Portal. Geil. GG. GG.
Unleashing damage for a double.
Sehr schön.
But it was Merwin that set it up. A triple to Supa and MKOI win the fight. Yeah, now that is
International.
The balloon in gold
Sehr gut.
lead. Koi with such a huge punishment as Na'Vi fishing for information on the bot side jungle camps. Baron is alive as well. Jojo's still taking these bot towers. Oh, he's going to TP away though. He's aware of a gang happening towards him. But that's going to be a Baron secured. And Koi looking dominant here in game 2.
Shadow Flame fertig bei Jojo oder was?
Trigger pull from
Yep.
Paris tries to buy some time with the Tempered Fate. Let's get another look at that because it was initially Na'Vi going for the invade themselves.
So we saw this exact same play in game 1, but this time round the fight went way better for Koi. The arrival of the Shen ultimate, the taunt was beautiful from Merwin. And then Mainta, even though he arrives from the bot way, it doesn't really contribute much. Neither mid laner was involved in the fight, but it didn't matter. They didn't need the damage, or at least Koi didn't. Now the shockwave used mid.
Damage on Poby, but with Sam D behind.
That was almost a straight-up solo kill.
Yeah, I mean, if Sam D wasn't there, I think Jojo will flash and look for something there.
Yeah, absolutely would have. My goodness. Yeah, I mean, Koi, I told you they bounce back.
Yeah.
When they lose a game, often it just kind of lights a fire underneath them, and then they get...
Als Koi gewinnt jetzt, weil Navi keinen dritten Pick hat. Das ist die Frage, ne? Was spielt denn jetzt eigentlich? Skiana wahrscheinlich, ne? Was zur Hölle macht Super da? Oh mein Gott, der macht eine Menge Damage. Der macht eine Menge Damage. Well played.
Super played that beautifully.
Schön gespielt, ja. Sehr schön gespielt.
Damage he was capable of and walks away with a 2 for nothing and a tower to boot. MKOI have got this game locked down as they look to bring us to game 3.
I was getting flashbacks to that game 1 on the Ezreal. Supa was the one caught out a couple of times. Not today. Not in game number 2. As Supa holds his ground, does not give over the shutdown. That would have been a lot of gold picked up by Na'Vi, but instead it's more gold for MKOI. They get the kills bot, they get the tier 2 turret in the bot side, tier 2 turret in the mid lane, making full use of this Red Bull Baron power play.
Jeder Champion aber auch gut gespielt, ne? Jojo hat Flash ab. Flash von Jojo ist gut. Wird trotzdem gepullt. Oh, war ja actually nicht so gut dann. Ja, meint.
Meanwhile, Sam D throws up the curtain call. Missing Alvaro with the first 2. There's the third. Can he find the 4th? Oh, not enough for the kill as Supa will clean up Poby. Na'Vi will continue the chase onto Alvaro, but he just turns it right out back.
Jesus Christ.
Now the lights go out yet again. The paranoia from Elyoya flash over the wall, but Sam D's got no backup. LEC will only watch his bot laner fall as he's trying to get out of dodge. Supa will force the flash, LEC to safety, but MKOI again win the play.
It's a nice try from Na'Vi, but the play does not go the way that they want it to. KOI find even more kills. They punish the aggression from Na'Vi, and they maintain this monstrous gold lead. The Baron power play is, I mean, it's 4.5k as they find kill after kill.
Yeah.
Super is deathless with a 5-0-1 scoreline. He's kind of stolen the spotlight away from Jojo, who is somewhat dead, but we look back at this play, Poby gets interrupted as the Shockwave plus Flash combo comes through from Jojo. He used his Flash early, so he's got no way of escaping, and they get the kill on the Jojo. Looks good, looks promising. The thing that they forget is Super is mega fed. Yep. So Poby gets caught in the mid wave, and then the Shen ultimate in the bot lane to turn this player.
Yep, Game 3, Game 3, Game 3. Nur eine Frage der Zeit. 5000 Gold geht auf die Junara. In the making.
Now, Mater's aim cannot be said. Has to use the ultimate. And that means critical cooldowns used. That could be used to try and defend, but at this point, 9.4k gold lead for MKOI. Probably going to go up to 10k here as they start taking this tier 2 in the top turret. That's the last.
Cyber überall vertreten, ja, wegen.
Hibs at this point forward. They don't have the Baron buff anymore, but MKOI
Spannender, oder?
firm control of this game.
Und die ist auch wo in Berlin ist die? Ich weiß gar nicht mehr. Irgendwo in Berlin ist doch Icon League jetzt.
A very straightforward comp, which was we want to dive, we want to fight. They had a little bit of a slow early game. Happy to trade objectives back and forth.
Soll der ADK 5k Head sein? Das ist ein Junara-Bug tatsächlich. Fun Fact, das ist ein Junara-Bug.
Jojo just dominating the mid lane. When you have no control in that wave, it's hard for LEC to really do much in terms of early playmaking.
Yep.
And so off the back of that, they've steamrolled and they've won every single fight. So credit to KOI, a clean game.
Na'Vi, they are fully committed onto Merwin though, and they're just gonna lose in the bottom side here instead. Super dominating as they catch Poby again. Both carries will go down, and Na'Vi didn't even get Merwin in the top lane. Yeah, this game's looking a little cooked at this point. I don't even know if we're gonna need.
Ja, wir warten bis Game 3, ne? Also bis hier japanische Gun. Okay, sagt mir gar nichts. Tatsächlich.
Yeah, I mean, you just the gold gap
Muss ich gestehen.
It is way too big. They're stealing even more camps away. His ultimate cooldown is not that long anymore. Once he gets level 16, it's going to be even shorter still.
Okay, das
Look
reicht.
at the picks, and what's happening top lane is they're trying to kill Shen, but in the jungle, the carries.
Junara Champion, ey.
Super easily one shot.
Diese Junara Champion Hilfe reicht.
Time for Sam D, who, I mean, he doesn't have enough.
Yeah, little thing there. I love that Elyoya used Paranoia on Sam D, not on Poby, who was the first one. He was like, no, Super will kill him. I do not need the Nocturne damage on the Azir. I'm just going to go for the Jhin instead, so they're able to get both. 12-2 in the kill score. And, I mean, if you're a Na'Vi fan, you better start believing in miracles, because it's going to take one to come back from this type of deficit.
Yeah, it's called Game 3.
Oh, that's the... Okay.
It also kind of breaks my heart seeing a mid laner go Zhonya's before they even upgrade their boots. Like the whole role quest,
Yeah.
the point is to get those early boots because you get so much value off of the upgraded boots. And he's running tier 1 boots, but he needs the Zhonya's because, you know, the murder on the side of KOI is quite extensive.
What would you rather have, upgraded boots or your life?
Yeah. Valid choice. How much it'll help him, I don't know. But I guess that's what KOI will answer for is relatively soon. As Baron back on the table.
Ja, Internash, wir brauchen keine Seele. Wir brauchen keine Seele, Freunde. Wir können einfach finishen. Er ist nicht so deep.
And this next one, they're set up to do the same. Instead, they're going to fish for any members of Na'Vi that might be nearby. Jojo will push in a wave here. Na'Vi are all the way back in their base. Now just pushing out this wave here as they'll start to get some shallow vision in their own jungle. But, I mean, I think you just have to accept it. We can't walk in. If we walk in and they're in one of those bushes, we will just lose the game on the spot. So, should be an uncontested Baron, but MKOI are taking their time to actually start it up.
Könnte schon lange gone sein, glaube ich. Also, it's safe. Das Ding ist nicht contestable, aber ja.
Throw out the Temper Fate now. Elyoya will get hit by it. Spell Shield not going to be enough to keep him up as the Curtain Call will get some more damage on him as well.
I mean, it's melting though. With the two of them, that's more than enough. Paris, you gotta be careful here, bro.
Yeah, taunted up, and now Jojo comes in with the shockwave for the damage. As it's Merwin with his first kill of the game, 105. Gift some kills to your tanks, everybody. They will appreciate it. LEC is able to buffer the Pop Blossom, gets out of there, but Still, MKOI with their second Baron, and now a numbers advantage on the Rift will start the siege.
And the Shockwave cooldown isn't even that long. Like, yes, it's on cooldown right now, but they don't really need it. They know they have the numbers advantage. They know they have the damage. The goal lead is monstrous. Mirwin is pushing in bot. They're pushing in all 3 lanes. Sometimes this can be very risky, but it feels like Na'Vi has no answer.
MKOI will take the first inhibitor turret. Start working on their first inhibitor as Merwin, meanwhile, pushing in on this bottom side. Elyoya pushing top. Every single lane is collapsing as Na'Vi will have to find some last stand. Right now it's Relech in the 1v1 against Merwin here, and he is losing it. The Shen with the shield and the damage coming back. Relech will now look to go in with Sam D, but does not land the W, so Jin has to...
Warten nur, nächste Combo kommt drauf. Yup. Okay.
Onto Relech, the hero is not
Yep.
as Poby flies in the back line, does find a nice shuffle. That's 1, that could be 2 as Jojo almost falls.
Nichts geht mehr.
Supa gets his mid laner out of there, and MKOI putting the final touches on this game. Na'Vi fought hard at the base, but MKOI get a double kill to their AD carry, and MKOI will even up the series 1-1. We're going to game 3.
Maximum Distanz heute. GG.
9 games on the day.